Today, I feel like it just sounds like I farted. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Accidental Beauty. If you're new, welcome. My name's Laura. I post videos once a week, mainly about makeup and sometimes about hair, fashion, lifestyle, beauty, all that good stuff. So if that sounds interesting to you, then please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button so you get updates whenever I upload a new video. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. I've got links for all my social media accounts and affiliate links and all that in the description box below. So please follow me there as well. I would really appreciate it. It would mean so much to me and would really help me out. Today, drumroll please, I'm going to be talking about the Huda Beauty Amethyst Obsessions palette. I am obsessed with this palette. I'm sorry, spoilers. Like, I love this palette. I'm wearing it on my eyes today. It looks absolutely stunning. I created this look with all 9 shades in the palette. So if you want to see how I created this look and just my full first impressions and review, then please keep on watching. Okay, I'm like so nervous and so excited to do this video. I'm so upset. So my wonderful fiance bought me this palette for my birthday in January, and he knows that I'm allergic to the pigments that are in like half the shades in here. So he also bought me an eyeshadow primer that the store person who was helping him in Sephora recommended. It said that it would provide like a base for the eyeshadow to stick to so it wouldn't give me an allergic reaction on my eyes. I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna have an allergic reaction because it happens, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to be doing a full like first impressions of the eyeshadow primer, which you can see in a video that will probably go up around the same time as this one. And then I'm also going to be trying out this eyeshadow palette, which I'm so freaking excited about, and I'm also really upset that I'm allergic to half the shades in here. And I really wish that Miss Huda Katan would make vegan eyeshadows because I hear her formula is absolutely amazing. I know that she had some consistency issues with, I think, her rose gold palette. There was like some drama going on there. But I hear these, I think they're like 9 pan, they're not quads, but they're like 9 pan eyeshadow palettes. I hear these ones are fantastic. And like, oh my god, just the packaging, like these are all the shades that are in this palette. So I just love the color story that's on the outside of the palette. I don't know what else to call this, like it's not really the lid, but like the lid. And then, oh my god, just like, and it's like raised for each shade, and it's like in the shape of like a gemstone because that's the whole theme of these palettes, and it's small and compact and really good for traveling. Like it's just all around, like I haven't even used it. I've looked at these colors, I haven't swatched them yet. The pan sizes are, I mean, kind of small when I first looked at them, but they're actually, as far as like the width and the height or whatever, it looks about the same size as like a standard Anastasia palette. I think it's just because they're blocked together so tightly that it just seems like a pretty small palette. But again, this is very good for traveling. So I don't even know what kind of look I'm going to do with this because I want to use as many shades as I can. I didn't think this far ahead. I was just like, okay, I'm going to film this video today. Crap, what am I going to do? Okay, so I've looked at a few videos just to sort of get an idea of what I can do with this palette, but I didn't want to look too in depth because I wanted to come up with a look on my own. Alright, so let's see, we've got 3 mattes, 3 sort of like metallic shimmer, and then 3 glitter. This palette's been out for a while, so I'm sure there's like another video that explains these things better than I am doing right now. I think I'm going to try and do a cut crease because I haven't done one of those in a very long time. So I'm going to just start off, I'm going to go into this one and put that just in my crease and just kind of start building off of that. Okay, so not like as super pigmented as, let's say, an Anastasia shadow, That's like kind of my baseline for everything is Anastasia, and I've got like primer or something stuck here. Yeah, not as like super wow pigmented all at once as Anastasia, but I mean still pigmented, and like the color is building up nicely. I'm just gonna turn down my lights a little bit. Does that make it better or worse? I can't tell. Okay, so now I'm going to go into this shade and just kind of build up the intensity of the color, like pretty much from the like halfway on my eye outward. So like the outer half of my eye, that's what I'm trying to say. Oh my lord, these are so pretty. I'm so mad that I'm allergic to them. See, that's the thing, like there are those knockoff palettes that were getting a lot of attention last year, I want to say, or when did Subculture come out? Because I feel like that's around the time that they started to get attention, like Bad Habit Beauty. And there were a couple other brands that were doing the same thing. They were basically like doing knockoffs of high-end palettes, like very obvious knockoffs, compared to Makeup Revolution, which does less obvious but still fairly obvious knockoffs. Anyways, brands like Anastasia, brands like Huda were complaining about these brands that were not doing knockoffs of their products. And honestly, as someone with a carmine allergy and as someone who enjoys makeup, like I would spend the money on a Huda palette, or I would spend the money on an Anastasia palette, or can't think of another brand right now, but I would spend money on a high-end sort of Sephora level eyeshadow palette if I wasn't allergic to it. But instead, I end up buying knockoffs from cheaper brands that just, you know, steal ideas from other companies, because those ones often are vegan, or at the very least don't contain carmine. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm willing to spend the money on a product, but not if I'm allergic to it, and it's just been really frustrating, and I feel like I complain about this in every video, but it's true, I'm just frustrated. Okay, so, wow, hi. Look at this. These shadows are blending out so nicely without losing, like I'm not an expert at makeup at all, but these shades blend out so nicely without losing the intensity of the color, which I find like some cheaper palettes that I own will sometimes do that. They'll blend out really nicely, but they kind of blend out into nothing. So then you kind of have to keep applying and reapplying and reapplying eyeshadow just to build up that intensity. So that's the thing I do notice in these knockoff palettes, is you lose that intensity of the pigment, which is possibly due to a lack of carmine, but there are vegan brands out there, or there are vegan palettes out there that still have that intense color payoff. Like Juvia's Place is a great example. Not all their eyeshadow palettes are vegan, but I do own one that does not contain carmine and still has amazing color payoff and still blends out really nicely. So it is possible, just brands won't do it, and it's probably a bit more expensive to produce that way, but just saying. Okay, so I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape as always. It's my tried and true concealer, but it's so freaking expensive, so I wish there was a cheaper dupe. I know that there's the Makeup Revolution one, but I feel like shipping to Canada would still be expensive. I haven't actually looked into it. One thing I love about filming videos with makeup that I'm allergic to, it pretty much forces me to actually wash my brushes, because otherwise I'm going to keep having an allergic reaction. every time I put on my makeup. Maybe I should film videos using these types of palettes more often so that I'll actually wash my brushes semi-regularly instead of like, you know, whenever they get too dirty. But seriously, wash your brushes. Okay, so I put that a little too high. So I'm just gonna go back with whatever is left on my brush and just kind of make that line a little more blended. Because I want like a harsh transition, but I don't want, like, I guess too sharp of a line. And then I've also got some, I don't know if you can really see it on camera, but I've got some concealer that's sort of bleeding up into the, I don't know what you call this, like the brow bone area, the crease area, like above the crease. Okay, so that's, I don't want to say that's looking good because it's really not. But my crease area, like, I'm happy with. So I'm just going to blend that out a little bit. And I'm going to blend this a little more because I don't like how much, okay, that didn't really work. I don't like how much concealer I put down. I kind of overdid it a little bit. Oops, and there's still concealer on my fingers. Alright, I'm just gonna get a drink of water and then I'll be back. Okay, I want to do a halo eye, so I'm gonna try this shade first. And I'll put that maybe on like the outer half of my eye. Okay, I mean, it doesn't apply half bad with a brush. It's actually not even a metallic. I'd sort of describe it more as like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a satin? Yeah, kind of like a satin texture. It's very pretty. Kind of matches my hair actually. Okay, that looks really, really nice. It's a little dry to work with, so I'm just kind of like stamping it on, but there's definitely gorgeous color payoff with this one. It's an interesting formula, I have to say. I feel like it would probably apply better with my fingers, but I know that I'm kind of clumsy and I feel like I would mess that one up. So I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. Just kind of wipe that off of my hands. Okay, you know what? Changed my mind. So I'm going to use this lighter color on the inner part of my eye. Next, I'm going to take a bit of this dark blue base purple and just kind of like apply that to where these colors end, avoiding the center area, because I'm going to try and sort of blend those together with that glittery shade. Oh, I really like this purpley shade. This is like the perfect shade of purple. Like, I've honestly been looking for a shade like this for a while. I have a similar shade, different formula from ColourPop. It's called Dare. I've done a video about it. And it reminds me a lot of that shade. Really, really great color payoff, I have to say, with this palette. And now, I'm curious how the like glittery shades show up with a brush, but I have a feeling I'll end up having to use my finger. I'm just gonna take a flat shadow brush and take this gorgeous like duochrome shade in the center and just apply that to the center of my lids. Okay, yeah, this is like just glitter. Yeah, it's not picking up really with a brush. Oh, this is like actually just glitter. Okay, I'm gonna use my finger and see if that works better. Oh yeah, that definitely worked better. See, it like really picked up. Oh my god, this is the perfect shade. I'm like tearing up a little bit. I'm so upset that I'm allergic to this palette, because I would wear this palette every single day if I could. Whoa, this is such a cool formula. It feels like an eyeshadow topper. It's almost like it feels like a powder when you touch it, but it applies almost like a gloss. It's so interesting, and I am obsessed. Okay, so I probably should have put a color underneath, like that purple, because it is a bit sheer, but oh my god, that color is so unique. I'm really having a moment with duochromes right now. I find them so cool, so beautiful. Oh my god, like look at how that's swatched. Just turn down the lights. Oh, so pretty. Oh, I can just give you a closer look of my eyes right now. Oh, it's got like almost like a creamy consistency. It's so interesting. So I'm gonna use just this mostly clean, I think this is called like a pencil brush, I can't remember, from Morphe, and I'm gonna take this color down here. It's like also kind of a duochrome. It's like a rose gold kind of color. And I'm gonna apply that to the inner corner. Okay, so there's actually a decent amount of kick up. I mean, not decent, but like, I don't know if you can really tell, but this, there we go, the shade seems, well actually I guess all the ones that I've used, you can kind of tell where I dug my brush in. Oh, I don't know if you can really see the inner corner highlight on camera. In person, it's like this gorgeous pink, blue, duochrome, rose gold almost. It is so pretty. And Huda, why are you torturing me like this? Because your eyeshadows are so pretty, and I wish your brand was vegan, because I would. Whoa, okay, the shade is kind of crumbly, so keep that in mind. I'm just going to use what I just kind of picked up on my finger to just enhance my nose highlight. Oh, that is pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to also highlight my brow bone with that shade because it's so pretty. Okay, so this shade is kind of powdery, kind of prone to fallout. Every other shade seemed to be fine. It's just that one seems to just sort of, I guess, be pressed softer, I want to say. So keep that in mind. Oh, I just love the way this look is coming together. Okay, so before I do my lower lash line, I just kind of want to enhance the crease area a little bit more. So I'm just going to go into those two pinkish purple matte shades that I used in my crease before. So I'm just going to mix them together and just kind of sort of like deepen that area. I'm so obsessed. Amethyst Obsessions, definitely an appropriate name. So I'm just gonna use this flat brush. I'm gonna go into this shade at the top, run that along my lower lash line up until like maybe like 3/4 of the way across. Oh, it's like a rose gold kind of color. That a little smokier than I intended, but that's the story of my life. Oh, I've got so much glitter in my eye right now, it's unreal. Okay, and now I'm going to use the last shade, and it's this dark sort of eggplant purple. That one's a matte, and I'm just going to use that on the outer portion of my lower lash line area. Oh, got that in my eye. If I have an allergic reaction, it's definitely because I keep putting eyeshadow in my eye instead of around it. You know what? I'm also going to run it a little bit on the outer edge of my eye, kind of like as eyeliner. Because I don't know if I'm actually going to put eyeliner on with this look. I feel like it might take away from everything. Now I'm going to use this flat shadow brush just to kind of like, not even, I guess, to smoke it out and sort of blend what I've got on my lower lash line area, because it's really, really smoky. It's funny how like I always say that, and then when I'm editing, it doesn't look as smoky as it does in person. Power of video, I guess. Okay, so, oh boy. I can't stop looking at myself in the monitor. Okay, so I am going to put on the rest of my makeup and then I'll be back to do all my final thoughts. So this is the final look. So, oh my god, what can I say? I am obsessed with this palette. Holy, I need to look at myself in the mirror again because, oh my god, I chose really dramatic lashes, which I feel like it takes away a little bit from this whole look, but it's so pretty. I don't want to take my makeup off because it's just so flattering and so gorgeous, and just it's just perfect. It's the most perfect palette, up there with Modern Renaissance, because that is the most perfect palette in existence, and I'm also allergic to it. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. I have nothing bad to say about this palette except for the fact that there's carmine in it, but it's so gorgeous. I highly recommend this palette to anyone, especially people who love purple, but just anyone who loves makeup, who wants to try out makeup. It's not terribly priced for an eyeshadow palette in this category, I guess, like in this price range. It retails for about $36 Canadian. So, I mean, it's a lot for like a small palette like this, but for this category of brand, like, you know, sort of mid to high end brand, I mean, it's not a bad price. You seem to get a lot of product in here, and the shades just perform so beautifully, and the pigmentation is wonderful, and I love this palette, and I'm really upset that I can't wear this every day, but it's so gorgeous. So Ari, I know you're watching, thank you so much for this palette because it's so pretty. What else can I say? Like, the shades blended out so beautifully. They performed, like, the pigmentation is just amazing. It's not overpowering, like as in you don't get like a boom, like a splash of pigment right when you put it on, which is good because you can actually build up the colors really nicely. The glitter shades are interesting. I mean, they perform beautifully. Like, I mean, look at this look, but look at this look. I kind of wish, and I know she's been using this type of formula in some of her other palettes, but I kind of wish that they were more like, I guess, as opaque as a foiled shadow, let's say, rather than like a glitter topper or just, you know, straight up glitter. She has experimented with a few different textures, which I think is pretty cool for an eyeshadow brand and in an eyeshadow palette to have a lot of different textures that you can play around with. I'm not one who just wants like an all matte or an all glitter or all shimmer palette or whatever. I kind of like a mix of everything, that I can kind of create a look with everything in the palette. That's just me personally. I do own one palette that's just mattes, and I actually, you know, it serves its purpose, but I do like that you can, you know, obviously create an entire look using this palette, and I have used all 9 shades to create this look. But basically, what I'm trying to say is I like that you can use all of these shades to create a look. You can also use some of the shades and create a look. Like, you definitely can play around with this a lot. I've definitely seen a few other ones on the market, but I feel like this is one of the few like all purple eyeshadow palettes that are on the market. I know the Norvina palette by Anastasia, I feel like it's a purple plus palette, as in like it's purples, but it's also colors that work well with purple, like browns and There's probably a gold in there somewhere. Don't get me wrong, it's a very pretty palette and I probably would buy it if I wasn't allergic to it, but I kind of personally prefer something like this, which is a truly all purple palette. Now, what I'm looking for actually is, so this is very warm tone. There are like 1, 2, I guess it's like a nice mix of cool and warm tone shades. I kind of would love to see an all cool tone purple eyeshadow palette, so kind of more like blue based than pinks. At the same time though, this is a stunning palette, especially this shade that I've got in my inner corner to highlight is freaking gorgeous. Obviously the blue based shimmer duochrome in the center of my lids, my favorite shade hands down. The mattes performed so beautifully. They blended out so nicely, so I really like those. The glitter shades, kind of, you can only use them as a topper, or like, yeah, you pretty much need to use them as a topper. Like, it didn't really work to smoke out my lower lash line with this sort of rose gold color, but it is very pretty, and I'm definitely going to be using this palette and creating other looks, so definitely stay tuned for that. This is such a long-winded conclusion. What else can I say? It's so pretty, and the packaging, I talked about this at the beginning, but the packaging is just so brilliant. I love how she has all of the colors and textures on the like the cover, I guess, of the palette, and it's reflected in everything that you see here. So it's like you know exactly what you're going to be getting just by looking at the palette, which I find really great. I love how she called this line of eyeshadow palettes the like Obsessions line, but she's got about, I feel like there's about 4 or 5 of them now, maybe there's more. I'll put them all up on screen. They're all very beautiful palettes and I'd love to try them out. It's just probably allergic to most of them, so unfortunately I'm not actually going to be buying any of those, but I do recommend them to other people if they're not allergic to carmine. I definitely recommend this palette to anyone who loves purples, to anyone with green or hazel eyes. It would bring out the green tones in your eyes and just would make them pop just so beautifully. This is great for every day. This is great for going out. This is great for parties, staying at home doing nothing and watching Netflix. Like, this is great for any occasion. You can really make it super dramatic and smoky like I did. You could just pop on like one of these shades and like eyeliner, mascara, and you're out the door. Like, it's just, I think it's a really versatile palette, and the shades are so unique as well that I feel like you definitely get compliments wearing this. And I think it's a pretty beginner friendly palette. Like, as you saw, the metallic shades apply with a brush. They probably apply well with your fingers as well. Like, you don't really need fancy brushes or anything like that for this. I mean, you don't need fancy brushes in general, but like the mattes especially were incredibly easy to work with. They blended out so nicely. Like, I'm not a professional makeup artist. I'm not really an expert when it comes to makeup. I just like to dabble a lot, and I created this really nice look. So if you enjoyed this video, first impressions, review, all that, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free, again, to follow me on my social media, which I've got linked below. I've got a makeup account where I just post pretty much like mostly eyeshadow looks. Sometimes I'll post a full face. And so please check me out there. And then I've got my personal account where I kind of do more like artsy photo shoots. So please follow both of those. Follow me on Twitter, please, because I mean, I'm not super active on there, but I feel like no one looks at my Twitter. So please follow me there too. And I'll see you in my next video.